Hi all. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today guys we are going to be talking about the new Shiseido Revitalessence Skin Glow Foundation. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about this. I think I watched, well, I wouldn't say I watched, I noticed one other review, but this really caught my eye, and because it hasn't been really talked about, I wanted to give it a shot and see what I think about it. So let's get into it. Guys, I'm going to zoom you in. And for reference, I got the shade 360. Now, this is the shade that I've used in other Shiseido foundations, and I don't know if it's the right corresponding shade for me. Oh, that looks a little light. As I was saying, I don't know if their shades are like corresponding across all of their foundation ranges, but we're gonna see. This looks a little light for me. Now keep in mind it is summer, and even though I wear sunscreen, I do tend to get a bit warmer. Like my undertone tends to get warmer in the summer, so this might be not so much too light, but maybe just too neutral, but we'll see. I put out a pump on my hand, and I'm just gonna lay one layer down, and I just want to see if it's a good match. That's actually not bad, and once I've added like bronzer and stuff, it should be fine. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to say that this feels really nice, like really nice on the skin. It's very thin. It is a glowy foundation, which I love glowy foundations. I don't like dewy, I like glowy, and I think there is a difference. Like, you can have natural glow without your skin looking wet, but that's really the only info that I knew about this this foundation when I bought it. I was like, it's glowy. So yeah, it's like a tad light, but like I said, my skin is in its summer form. Once it is in its winter form, I think this might actually be just fine. My brush is shedding on me, excuse me. But yeah, so let me zoom you guys in even more so you can see what this is looking like. So the coverage on this, and let me look at the bottle. Does it say that it is a skincare active foundation that provides a healthy glowing finish and 24-hour hydration. It has, it's powered by fermented kefir and niacinamide. It packs the same level of effective skincare ingredients as a Shiseido serum. It says it is medium coverage. Now for me, this is more like sheer to medium coverage. I'm going to do like a half pump more and put that over the areas where I want a little more coverage. So like areas here where I just have some like acne scars that are taking their time to fade and all that good stuff. I don't like to wear a lot of foundation. For me, I do prefer like a lighter layer, but I just want to see how this builds up and if it builds up to a medium. So I feel like, okay, I'm not going to put any more on my forehead. I don't actually usually put foundation on my forehead. I don't know if I feel like I've mentioned that to you guys, but if you are new, I don't tend to wear foundation on my forehead. I don't like that look or that feeling of having foundation all the way up to my hairline. It feels very mask-like a lot of the times. And so I just prefer, you know, unless I'm like reviewing for you guys, I tend to in real life not take my foundation that high. I usually take it to like here at the highest. And honestly, I don't feel like it matters all that much because once you've put like your bronzer on and things like that, it all kind of melds together. So the finish on this is really, oh, that's so pretty. It's so natural looking. I'm like looking at the viewfinder and my skin looks really pretty. Like the shade is, like I said, maybe a half shade too light, or half shade maybe too cool for my summer tone. But the finish of it, if you can see, like, look how pretty that is. It has this really pretty like skin-like glow, but my skin isn't dewy. Like, I'm looking at it in the viewfinder and then I'm looking at it in my mirror in real life, and my skin doesn't look dewy. It just looks healthy, and that's what I'm going for most of the time. I'm not always, I don't tend to go for full coverage foundations. I used to back in the day. I think, you know, back in the day when everyone was wearing full coverage and full coverage was really all you could get. I did, but I just don't like the feeling of that on my skin, and I don't feel like it makes my skin look its best. So generally speaking, medium to, you know, buildable, or even sometimes light to sheer, depending on my mood, is kind of my happy place as far as foundation goes. So yeah, this is like a pump and a half, maybe, blended out with a Real Techniques brush. I am really, really happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup. I'm going to put on my concealer now. I'm still using the Givenchy. I'm trying to like use other things. And I have been using other things, but I've been using other things as far as like base products as well, which I will bring up because I'm going to show it to you in a sec. But I'm going to put my concealer on. And my concealer is the shade 335 Neutral in the Givenchy, and I have this also in the same shade in the foundation, the Skin Caring Glowy foundation from Givenchy, and I really, really like that tone because it's like neutral, but as you can see, it has a bit more warmth than the shade from this Shiseido foundation, which is also supposed to be a neutral, but this is why I have to be really careful with neutrals, because my skin is neutral with a hint of golden, and a lot of neutrals are almost borderline cool in a lot of ways. They're not as balanced as they purport to be in undertone. So I'm going to blend this out. I'm using a sponge. I've been really obsessed with the rougher sponges, guys. This is my, I stocked up when they just have their buy one get one free sale. And so I bought two more of the number 15 brushes because I'm obsessed. And then I bought 2 more of the sponges because, again, I'm obsessed. I just love these sponges, and look how beautiful this together looks. So nice. So let's see if we can warm up the foundation with some bronzer, and I'm going to pull out the bronzer that I've been using, which is my Luminous Silk Glow liquid bronzer, and I use the shade 100, which I think is the medium shade or medium tan shade. So I'm squeezing this out with my hand. And I'm using my brush, which isn't clean, sorry, but this is what I've been using all week to apply it. So I'm just going to apply that on here, and by on here I mean my cheeks, and see if I can warm this up a bit. And again, I'm not too concerned with the tone because I do feel like it's going to be perfect for like winter time. And I tend to reach more for glowy in the winter. This summer has been so hot, guys. It's 90 degrees today. I thought we were, you know, past this, but of course we are not. And Chicago has decided that it wants to be 90 degrees again. I'm not going to put any on my forehead right now because I just don't want to get any on my scarf. I'm going to put some on my side of my nose. And I'm just going to apply it how I normally would because I feel like I don't need it. My forehead is pretty naturally bronzed. So I feel like, look and see, do you see how, like, again, you're getting these flashes of glow, and it looks more glowy on camera than it does in real life. I just want to say that. So if this is looking extra glowy to you, it's not actually as glowy in person. It just looks really skin-like. And that I am really digging. I am digging. And I have to say, I was really curious about this, even though I know everyone loves that Shiseido, I'm gonna go ahead and may as well, I've got extra on my brush. Loves that Shiseido, what is it, self-refreshing, Sink Girl self-refreshing foundation. I could not get that to work for me. I don't know what it was. It kind of, honestly, guys, it reminded me of the Fenty matte foundation, and that I could not get it to work for my skin. And at the time, I had really oily skin, and I was looking for something that would offer that sort of like balancing, and that was supposed to be what that one done, is it was like refreshes on its own. It never like, you know, melts off your face, and I just felt like that I was a complete grease ball when I wore it. It broke down terribly on my face, and I tried it with various primers. I tried it with no primer and just sunscreen. I tried it on its own. I tried different setting sprays. Powders, everything. And I just could not get that foundation to work for me. And, you know, so for me, you know, I know a lot of people love that foundation. For me, it was just a miss across the board. And I just couldn't get it to work. So this, I'm feeling like if I can get this to last And I'm filming a bunch of other videos after this, so I'm doing this video now, and I'm just sort of putting on my base, and I'm going to apply some blush and come back at the end of my filming session and see how this foundation is held up while I'm sitting under lights, while I'm, you know, talking a lot. It's warm. This is not a matte foundation. And for blush, I am using, I just got this. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Glow Blush, and I have the shade 11 in Love. I just got this, guys, and I'm in love. I think it is so, look at that. Look how soft and pretty that is. And what I like about this is that it does have a little glow to it, like its own little, like, because it's luminous. So it's got a luminosity to it, like a really soft, like you can kind of see a sheen in the pan, but it's not intense. And it's not intense on the face, but it's there. So I'm just going to apply that. All over, like so. How pretty. Oh, I just love how soft this looks. I wore it for the first time on Thursday, and I wore it to work, and I was so happy with how this looked because it just gives that really beautiful natural flush. And I'm building it up a little bit just to see how much pigment I can get. I didn't do this the first time I wore it, so I don't know, but I feel like, oh, that's so pretty. That's so pretty. Okay, I'm really happy with that. Okay, so this is the finished base. This is the finished base makeup. I am going to go off. I'm going to film a couple more videos, do some eye makeup on camera, and then when I am done filming those videos, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about how this is held up, guys. All right, so I will see you. It'll be a minute for you, but it'll be maybe about an hour, hour and a half for me. All right. Okay, all right, my lovelies. I look different. I changed my head wrap, my earrings. I'm filming videos. I've got things going on, but I am coming back with my sort of like, this wasn't supposed to be like a full wear test, like a long day's wear test. This is really just to see how it wore in front of lights while I was filming. So I've had this on for about 2 hours now, and this is what it looks like. I'm noticing when I went to the bathroom, I did notice one thing, and I just want to talk about it. And I think this is more, oh my God, I have like eyeshadow on my face. Hold on a second. I'm so messy when I use like dark shadows. They get everywhere. I don't know how people manage not to do that, but this is why I usually do my eyes first, but I couldn't today. But that's a whole other thing. All right. One thing I will say that I noticed, and I think this is more to do with how much of the product I use, because I did a pump and a half because I was trying to build up the coverage just to see how much coverage I could get from it. I don't generally do that with my foundations. I usually do a pump, and a pump is enough for me no matter what the finish is because I don't like a lot of foundation on my face. So I did like a pump and a half, and I applied it mostly in this area. And I will say that it does feel quite heavy here. Like here. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but like here and all in here, it feels quite heavy. So, not heavy, but it just looks makeup-y. Like you can tell that I'm wearing foundation here, whereas the other areas of my face where I applied it doesn't look like that at all. So for me, that's just a clue that next time that I'm wearing this, to be as judicious about how little I'm using on all areas of my face. But yeah, I was building it up just to see how it would build up. I'm not a fan of that aspect of it because I do feel like it got quite makeup-y around my chin. And I will say that if a foundation is going to get makeup-y on me, these are the areas that it will do it. It'll do it for some reason, not this side, but it'll do it here, and it'll do it here on my chin. Everywhere else, it looks great. It hasn't faded. I've done my eye makeup twice, and it's held up. It's still looking really glowy and pretty, and just I'm enjoying it. Of course, I will come back like I always do. I always do a review roundup for you guys where I talk about the products, the newer products that have come into my life my collection and I tell you how they have performed over time. So I'll probably be doing one of those at the end of September, and I'll come back and tell you how I feel about this. I'm especially curious about this because I'm wearing it now for this video, but this is not something that I would wear right now, like right now outside to go do things, because it is quite hot right now. We're in another little mini heat wave here in Chicago that's supposed to end sometime next week. So this is not something I'm probably going to pick up again until that heat wave has broken, because I know with this type of formula, it just doesn't, on my skin, doesn't hold up in heat and humidity. It's just yeah, you know. So yeah, I am not in love with this part, but I do think that was just my applying more than I normally would, and I know that because I don't do that because of that exact reason. So it's looking a little makeup-y there, but the rest of the face looks beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, again, I will come back and let you know if I still like it, if my feelings about it have changed at all at the end of the month. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.